Hi everybody, I hope you're doing marvellously well. This is part one in a two-part series on the legendary Fame Studios, which is in Muscle Shoals in Alabama. Fame Studios was started by studio owner and producer Rick Hall, and of course is made even more famous by a group of musicians that became known as the Swampers. The studios are beautiful. In part one, we're going to look at Studio A. Some of the songs that were recorded here are some of the greatest songs ever made. Artists such as Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding, Joe Tex, Etta James, Clarence Carter, and of course Duane Allman and the incredible Aretha Franklin all worked here. All under the guidance of Rodney Hall. So, without further ado, let's check out the studio. It's a beautiful day. We're in Alabama, a very, very famous town called Muscle Shoals. Here. Yep, Fame Recording Studios. If you know anything about music whatsoever, you know that this is one of the most important and most famous studios in the history of music. This is where Aretha obviously recorded, Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett. The list is absolutely endless. And of course the Swampers got their start here, one of the most famous backing bands of all time. This is an incredible studio. We're here to meet up with the owner, Rodney, whose father was Rick Hall, who started the studio. What's unique about this studio, probably one of the only famous studios that shares this. This was built from scratch. This wasn't a studio that they went into. It used to be a school or some kind of other building. Rodney's dad, Rick, built this from scratch and added more and more to it. So, very, very exciting. Let's go and check it out.
All right, guys, great to have you. Let's go check out Studio A. Yeah, so this is the original room. This was built in 1962. And the first artist to record in here was a guy named Jimmy Hughes, who had the hit Steal Away. It was the very first song recorded in this room, as a matter of fact. From there, you know, Joe Tex, the Tams, Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding, Aretha Franklin, Etta James, Clarence Carter, Bobby Gentry. 60 years. It'll be 60 years this year, as a matter of fact.
What's the anniversary date?
It was October. So my dad had one, he had been in another location. It was a Snow Candy and Tobacco Warehouse. And he had a song called You Better Move On Arthur Alexander, which was a big hit. And then the Stones covered one side and the Beatles covered the other side of the record. And from that, he took that money, built this building, borrowed some more, built this building, Studio A, and started recording from there, and it just took off.
That's incredible.
So yeah, originally it was just this room, this wide, had a echo chamber off to the side, and had offices up front, and that was it. The bathroom was in the control room, which turned out to be a bad idea. It was moved when they added on. Offices are all around the building, which insulates it from traffic noise. There was 2 offices upstairs originally, my dad's office and then a little waiting room. When they added Studio B, a lot of offices were added and storage. When my dad decided to build this, he'd been writing songs for several years, and it had cuts on Roy Orbison and George Jones and Brenda Lee, and he had befriended Owen Bradley in Nashville, who was Owen Bradley and Chet Atkins ran Nashville. They created Nashville. So Owen let him go into his studio and step off the building, and he stepped it off and came and built this building to the same dimensions.
What was the thought process about doing it in Alabama and not being in Nashville, as it was more of an established music? Because this is a big deal.
Well, he had Arthur Alexander, who was an African American, and he had taken that to Nashville and tried to get a deal up there, and nobody would give him a deal because it just didn't fit into country music. So he just decided to do it here, a lot cheaper. He bought this property for $1,000. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as it has been. It's been modified a little bit over the years, mostly cosmetic. But the booths were added, this flooring was added, and the ceiling were the main things. We just refurbished this. This is our echo chamber. So this is the original chamber. 80-something, we got plates, EMT plates, and so they stopped using the chamber and just started storing things in here. So up until last year when we did the IK plug-in, IK helped us refurbish it. it was just storage, which the hardest part was finding places to put all the stuff we had in here. And at the time, none of these doors were here. It was just a half door over here, and these doors were all closed up. So when we stopped using it, we needed to load in. Everybody loaded in the front doors, and that was a pain in the ass. So.
Very nice. And this was the original chamber back in the day?
This was the original chamber, and this was the one you hear on all the records. IK helped us come in and refurbish. It's been used as storage for the last 30 years, so this is the first time it's been being used again. And those guys helped us put it together, and it's available on the plug-in.
Nice, very nice indeed.
And the great thing about the plug-in that you can't do with the actual chamber is you can have multiple different settings and sounds from this chamber, which you can't do that obviously with a physical chamber.
Right.
So it's in ways it's more powerful than actually having the chamber.
Right. I'd probably go with the default though, because I just want it to be the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so check out this Wurlitzer. This has been one of the key instruments in the Muscle Shoals sound is this Wurlitzer. This one, and we've got two of them. They're identical. And this was actually manufactured about an hour from here.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, that's been on Mustang Sally. It was on I Never Loved a Man, Aretha, Do Right Woman. I mean, everything that's been cut here pretty much. Wurlitzer is a key instrument in the Muscle Shoals sound, as well as organ. So this is our Hammond. And this one's been here since about 1970. The original was upstairs. We'll see it later. And but yeah, the organ and the Wurlitzer are very key instruments to what we do.
How's that recorded, the Whirly? Do you have it going through a separate amp?
Usually we mic it.
You mic it?
Yeah, we usually mic it, but we have modified it to go direct. And we do that sometimes, but most of the time we mic it.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Just a 57 to the little 1960 speaker.
What's that? Is it a C9 or C7?
It's a 9, I believe.
It's a 9, yeah. It looks a little bigger than our old C7.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been here since the 80s. Yeah, it's a great piano. We've got the two originals one upstairs and one in Studio B. So we've pretty much got every instrument that's ever come through here. The only thing we don't have here is my dad's bass, which played on everything up through about 70. He made people play his bass.
What was the bass?
It's a Fender.
Precision?
Precision bass.
Yeah.
And it's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So you want to check out the control room?
Yeah, let's check out the control room. Yeah,
so originally you walked in this door, and this was the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Which again, not a good idea. 8232 Neve.
Yeah, I don't know much about this.
Yeah, it's a great little console. We've had it since late 70s, early 80s. And yeah, it's great. We had originally it was in UA console in here, and we've had MCIs, and this has been here longer than any of the others.
Nice size.
We love it. Yeah.
32 channels.
Yep.
Good size.
We really like the Neve, and we've got SSL in the other room, which is nice, a nice combination.
And the original console in there as well.
Original UA.
You got the MCI. People are still tracking the tape. They come in here.
Yeah, we do some. We did Greg Allman analog, and we've done a few other things.
Right.
In the last couple of years. But you know, even when they do analog, they'll cut tracks and then they'll dump it into Pro Tools and do all the editing and mixing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I understand.
Most of the overdubs.
How long have the MCI's been here?
Oh, forever.
70s?
70s, yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. I love this sort of theme of these little roofs and stuff.
Right. The wood.
A lot of nice outboards and tube techs. Oh yeah, the Cole Audio. I had these for a couple of months to try out. They sound phenomenal. I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's like these kinds of studios, of which there's only a handful left in the whole world. They're like what every producer wants, isn't it? You want a room that's like... The thing about both these rooms, A and B, is they're just the right size, aren't they? You get a band in here, there's enough areas for people to, first of all, track in. Have great isolation, but still track together live, number one. But secondly, just enough space for people to be together, but also separate and hang out and do their thing. Some of the big rooms are exciting from one level of like, you know, doing drums. Like it's great, you know, we did drums in this huge room, but then they feel so cold. It's great for the drum sound, but then the rest of the session just feels like you're in this warehouse. Where this, yeah, these are the kinds of sizes. Sunset rooms are a little bigger, but they have that same kind of feel. I think all the classic studios that are still working have that kind of balance between a big enough room to capture a sound of a band together, but not so big that it's a frickin' 80s warehouse. You smell the wood when you come in, don't you? It's like a combination of wood, probably pot smoke, embedded into it. Maybe some 70s patchouli oil, you know. But you know what I mean? It feels like people have lived and worked in here.
Chad, this is my dad's office.
Oh, wow. Now this is an office.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're talking. Oh, yeah, I like this. Yeah, this is great. Get to see everything that's going on around.
Yep.
Yeah, I love this. Is it your office now?
No.
No, you just keep it as a piece for everybody to see?
Yeah, our writers use it as a write. They write up here a lot.
Can I sit in this chair?
You can.
Crazy looking chair.
Have a cut?
Wow. You don't use it as your office?
I don't. I've got an office over across the hallway.
Ah, I see.
Power amps. Artists would sit there. He would blow their heads off.
Play music and just
volume. Yeah, absolutely.
I know Paul Anka recorded here.
Yeah, he did. He did a couple.
A friend of mine plays with him.
Oh yeah.
Paul Anka and Burt Bacharach when they do those things together.
Yeah, I bet he's got some stories.
Oh yeah. He's got some incredible stories.
Yeah.
What's the Martin? Is it Recording King?
Yeah.
That's lovely. Looks like a little Martin, like a little AAA.
Yeah, those are Mustang Sally.
Ah, yeah.
Land of a Thousand Dances. Aretha, I Never Loved a Man.
This is when plaques were plaques.
I know, right?
Yeah, I wish they still looked like that.
I do too.
Yeah. Beautiful. Never Loved a Man.
Yeah.
Aretha there. So did Jennifer come down here and record vocals down here?
No, she came down here to do CBS The Morning Show. We did some overdubs on that record, on the Respect soundtrack.
Good.
But she didn't actually do her parts here.
I loved the movie. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, good. It was good. So back in the day, this was a dry county. You couldn't get alcohol. This was a bar.
Hey, you're in a band.
Yeah. So now we just got to fill with memorabilia. All right. So yeah, this is our publishing office, one of them, and these are all awards: ASCAP Award, BMI Awards, 5 Songs of the Year Awards.
Fantastic.
We've published Jason Isbell, back in the day, Dan Penn, George Jackson, Spooner Oldham, a ton of great writers.
Fantastic.
So yeah, but this is the fruits of those labors.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Are you still actively running the publishing company and everything?
Oh yeah.
Still signing writers and everything?
Yep.
Okay.
Got about 5 writers writing for us now, and so yeah, still doing it.
Great.
Got another gold record yesterday, as a matter of fact, on Jason Isbell. So
I saw Dave Cobb posted a photo this morning of it.
Yeah. And Dave produced it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yep. Fantastic.
All right. You want to go back down to the studio?
Yep, let's check it out.
So this is our vinyl room. This is pretty much every record that's ever been recorded here. Multiple copies. See what we got here. Jimmy Hughes. Clarence Carter. Joe Simon. That wasn't recorded here, but
When a Man Loves a Woman, Percy Sledge.
we get a finder's fee, so that counts. Arthur Conley, the Fame Gang, Clarence Carter, Jimmy Hughes, the Villagers, Mac Davis, Terry and the Chain Reaction. This is somebody's eBay heaven.
Yeah, it certainly is. Sure, most of these have never been played.
No, they haven't. And most of them are first pressings.
Yeah. Clarence Carter, Backdoor Santa.
Yeah.
That old time feeling.
Candy
Well,
Staten.
they're all for jukebox.
In the UK, or the 45 have a small hull?
We have a small hull so if we would get American imports, we'd have to buy these little disposable things,
Adapters,
adapters to go in the middle. Because I never saw a jukebox ever.
Well, these over here, they're all like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all have the big hole.
Yeah, jukebox was a big deal. Out of my mind. Chalmers Rhodes.
Yeah, so Charlie Chalmers was in that group. He played the sax solo on Land of a Thousand Dances, and a lot of horns, and was a lot of backgrounds over the years. Kind of an unsung hero.
Who's the horn section that you adapted together?
It was Harrison Calloway, Ronnie Eads, Aaron Barnell, and Harvey Thompson.
You got a good memory for names.
Well, I grew up with all these guys, hearing their names and then just knowing them.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please stay tuned for part 2 in the series when we will look at Studio B. Leave any comments and questions below. Thanks ever so much. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, adios, hey do, ciao, so long, goodbye, farewell.